Ever imagine yourself, like, taking this rough hunk of metal, right, and turning it into something smooth and polished, almost like magic?
Yeah,
That's basically what a tumbling machine operator does, and we're going to do a deep dive into it today.
I love it.
All thanks to the stuff you sent over from RoleCatcher.
It's great.
They've got this crazy detailed guide and even some info about their, like, platform itself.
Yeah, they do. It's amazing.
So it sounds like maybe this could be your next career move.
Yeah, it's interesting how the guide kind of goes beyond just, pressing a button. You're really thinking about the decisions you're making. You're choosing the right abrasive media. You're adjusting machine settings.
Okay, so walk me through that a bit. Like,
Yeah.
what does that look like in reality?
So, yeah, it's almost like an art to get that certain finish they're talking about.
Hmm.
And the type of metal that can totally change things up.
Oh, absolutely. So, like, how does that work? What's the difference?
So they actually mention all sorts of things in the guide. Heavy-duty industrial parts. They talk about delicate jewelry. So think about working on something massive, maybe it's for construction, versus a teeny tiny piece of silver for a necklace.
Oh, wow.
The operator has to adjust their technique. The tumbling media, the whole process kind of shifts based on what you're working with and what you're trying to get.
So you've really got to be adaptable, a problem solver.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. What about the actual career path itself?
Okay.
I noticed that the RoleCatcher guide lays out different stages.
Right. So it shows how you can start at an entry-level position. You could even do an apprenticeship and kind of work your way up.
Oh, cool.
And they've got these cool profiles of people who are at different points in their careers, which I thought was helpful.
Yeah.
Like there's this one entry-level operator who talks about how at first you're really just meticulously following the instructions, setting up the machines, assisting the more senior operators. It's a lot of focusing on fundamentals.
Yeah, it's like any craft. You got to learn the ropes from the people who've been doing it forever.
Exactly.
But then what? Where does all that experience take you?
So then you start seeing these junior operators, and they've moved beyond just following the instructions. They're troubleshooting issues, they're training newcomers, they're taking on way more responsibility.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the guide stresses that, with more experience comes the opportunity to oversee multiple machines. You could even mentor others or suggest improvements to the whole process as like a senior operator.
No, that's impressive.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a path for growth there. But, the guide's also pretty honest about the realities of the job.
Yeah.
It doesn't try to hide the fact that it's physically demanding.
It's true. This is not a desk job.
Right.
They come right out and say that operators are on their feet for a long time, maybe lifting heavy materials, and then there's the noise, the dust. It's a lot. You really need a certain level of physical stamina to handle that every single day.
Yeah, for sure. And what about the safety aspect? I mean, working with metal, heavy machinery, it's got to come with some risks, right?
Definitely. And they emphasize, safety protocols, protective gear.
Right.
Especially, they mention potential exposure to hazardous chemicals.
Right.
So it's not just about knowing how to do the technical stuff, but you have to prioritize safety, both for yourself and everyone around you.
Makes sense.
It's a mindset thing.
Totally. So it sounds like a career for someone who's comfortable in a very hands-on environment and really committed to a safe workspace. But with all those challenges, there got to be some pretty awesome perks, right?
Yeah.
What does the guide highlight as the upsides of choosing this career path? So we've talked about the hard parts of the job.
Yeah.
But what about the good stuff?
Right.
Like besides turning raw materials into something amazing,
Yeah.
what are some other cool things about a career as a tumbling machine operator?
Well, that transformation's a huge part of it.
Oh, yeah?
The guide actually quotes some operators, and they talk about how satisfying it is to take something rough and kind of ugly and then see it become this polished thing with like hidden potential.
Yeah.
They say that sense of accomplishment of making something real, it's like a major draw for them.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Like we said before, there's almost an art to it.
Yeah.
But what about like the more practical stuff?
Okay.
What about job security?
Yeah.
Can you make good money doing this?
So the guide is really positive about that.
Oh.
They highlight how there's always a need for skilled operators.
Huh.
It doesn't seem like algorithms are going to be replacing them anytime soon.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
And they say that as you get more experience and you maybe specialize in something, your salary can really grow too.
Specialization, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What does it even mean to specialize in? Like tumbling?
So think about all the different industries that use tumbling.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You could be the tumbling expert for like aerospace,
Oh,
working on those super precise engine parts, or maybe you're the jewelry master polishing those intricate pieces.
oh, wow.
They even mention working with like medical implants, which is another whole level of detail and precision.
So you're not just a tumbling machine operator, you're the tumbling machine operator
Exactly.
for a very specific thing. That's so cool.
It's cool, yeah.
Sounds like you'd need to be constantly learning new stuff
Definitely.
to stay on top of your game in this field.
Oh, yeah. And they really stress that in the guide. Technology in metalworking is changing so fast. There's more automation, more robotics.
Right.
They say if you want to be the best, you got to be ready to learn and train constantly.
So do they like give you a roadmap for that?
Yeah, they actually list some places you can go,
Oh, cool.
like online courses, workshops, conferences, all about helping you learn more as an operator.
That's awesome.
You can tell they don't just want to give you information.
Yeah.
They want to like help you take charge and grow your career.
Which brings us to the other part of their platform, the interview prep stuff.
Right.
They really go all out on helping you land that job.
Yeah, they do.
It's actually pretty impressive, this section they have.
What's that?
It's dedicated to interview questions, but specifically for tumbling machine operators.
Oh, cool.
Like it's like getting inside the mind of the person hiring you.
I like it.
All right, you got to give me some examples. What kind of questions are we talking?
So they have a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Some are about you and why you want the job. Like what made you interested in this field. They want to hear your passion, why this is for you.
Makes sense.
Then there are the more practical questions, like
Yep.
how do you make sure things are accurate when you're using the machine?
Right, yeah.
They want to see what you know technically, and if you pay attention to detail.
So it's like they're trying to figure out both your hard skills, like the technical stuff,
Yeah.
and then your soft skills too.
Exactly.
Like your personality, how you'd be as an employee.
Yeah, and they don't just give you the questions either. They give you tips on how to answer them well.
Oh, wow.
They highlight what bosses usually look for
Right.
and the mistakes people make.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
It's like having your own personal coach for your interview.
totally.
But that's just one piece of what RoleCatcher does, right?
Right.
I get the feeling there's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, they seem to offer a whole bunch of tools for anyone looking for a job or just wanting to improve their career.
Huh.
We're talking about building your CV, job boards, maybe even ways to network with people.
It sounds almost too good to be true.
Right.
Like they talk about AI-tailored CVs
Yeah.
and personalized interview feedback.
Could be wild.
Is this the future of job hunting? AI tailoring CVs,
Yeah.
personalized interview feedback? It's pretty wild.
It's a big promise for sure.
It is.
They're basically saying they can like take all the headache out of looking for a job,
Yeah.
from figuring out what companies want
Yeah.
to acing those interviews.
Yeah. It makes you wonder,
Yeah.
is this like the future of job hunting?
Yeah.
Or is it just going to make things even more complicated?
Well, think about it this way.
Okay.
Having your own like career expert in your pocket guiding you every step of the way,
Right.
that's pretty appealing, right?
Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah.
AI looking at job descriptions, telling you how to improve your CV, even giving you notes on how you did in an interview.
No more stressing over your cover letter or blanking on a tough question.
Exactly.
But then again,
Yeah,
are we just letting the robots take over?
right.
What if the AI misses something, like really important about you?
See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
We can't forget AI. It's just a tool,
Right.
right? It's only as good as the information it's given and how well we use it.
So it's about finding that balance,
Exactly.
using AI to help you out,
Yeah.
but also trusting your own gut and your experiences.
It's like, let the AI do the boring stuff,
Right.
like formatting your CV for those online systems.
Right? Yeah.
So you can focus on showing off your skills and what makes you unique.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, AI isn't the one making the decision to hire you or not.
That's true.
It's still a human being.
Absolutely. You can't beat that human connection.
Right.
Making them like you, showing them you're passionate.
Exactly.
That's always going to be important.
So AI might not be good or bad for job hunting. It's about how we use it.
100%.
We got to be smart,
Yeah,
we got to be ethical,
definitely.
and we got to make it work for us.
Find the right opportunities. Yeah.
Speaking of the future,
Yeah.
we got to talk about the elephant in the room,
What's that?
automation.
Ah, right.
The guide mentions it a bit.
Yeah, they do.
Could this technology, the one that's supposed to be helping these workers,
Yeah.
end up replacing them entirely?
It's tough to say for sure. I mean, it's kind of the downside of progress, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
We've seen it before in other fields,
Right.
but, you know,
Yeah.
it's not necessarily all doom and gloom.
So there's hope for tumbling machine operators.
there's a chance it could even open up new opportunities.
Oh, okay.
Instead of running the machine,
Yeah.
you're programming it, fixing it, you know. Maybe tumbling machine operator becomes tumbling machine technician.
Okay.
Or even like a tumbling machine engineer or something.
So we shouldn't be scared of automation.
Right. Exactly.
We should see it as like the job description evolving.
Exactly. Those who are willing to learn new things, adapt.
Right.
They're the ones who will do well.
There you have it.
That's it.
A deep dive into the world of tumbling machine operators.
That's right.
We talked about what the job is really like, the good and the bad.
Yeah, the challenges.
We even got into how AI and automation might change things.
It's a changing world out there.
What started as just looking at one career
It's true.
gave us a peek into how the whole idea of work is changing.
Yeah.
Hopefully you learned something new today.
I know I did.
And maybe you even feel inspired.
Always good to be inspired.
Who knows, maybe tumbling machine operator is your next big move.
Could be a good fit, you never know.
That's it for today's deep dive. We'll see you next time.